they not gonna be able to hear real well.
They're not gonna hear?
Maybe.
I'm gonna put you closer, but
Or go on the lot. It may not look as great, but the road is gonna ruin it because of the car.
just a little bit, yeah. And then try to stay.
Yeah, trash won't be there if you step further back.
Right, no, you good. I don't got no trash. No. So no, don't go that far. Y'all good. Come up like right there. Right there. Yep. Right there.
Do a test of it. Are you doing it live?
It's live.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Because I was just saying what the sound is.
I just
My mother's here with us too, but she also has some eye problems and a sensitivity to the sun, so she's in the car over here. But I'm out here with my mom, Miss Jessica Jackson, about Charlene Marsh is my mother's name. She has a non-for-profit called Notre Affordable Housing. My godfather is LeRoy Singleton. He is one of the 4 Singleton brothers who owned the Sandpiper Lounge. This is the Sandpiper Lounge, 7954 to 7958 South Halsted. He also owned this parking lot that belongs to the Sandpiper Lounge that now the city of Chicago has given to city Save a Lot, and now they're going to make that a government-run grocery store called the Yellow Banana. We have yet to be paid for that as well. The overall issue is I've been fighting this for a year. My mother was put in a hospital in the beginning of January 2023 because she was fighting this by herself. She was 75. She's 75 years old. My godfather is 80, and they couldn't do it by themselves. So I decided to come from Atlanta, pack my things up, and come and fight. While I was protesting outside of the city of Chicago, I met Miss Jessica Jackson, who also has a property issue going on by way of the probate court. The city of Chicago unlawfully demolished my family's building in 2017 and never compensated my family. That's violation of the 5th Amendment and violation of the 14th Amendment, which is her due process. My mother has been fighting. You cannot get a lawyer. You cannot get anyone to help you because the city of Chicago has been stealing black people's property for a very long time. It's a cycle, it's a money laundering tactic, and they've been getting away with it so much that they got comfortable until they met Ms. Jessica Jackson and Zoe Leigh. I'm here to let you know that this is our land. This is my mother's land, it's my father's land, which is my generational wealth. This is also our land and property. And the city of Chicago just takes it. They just strong arm it, and they think that you cannot help. The alderman at the time was Latasha Thomas, who let this happen. Our now alderman is David Moore, and instead of David Moore just being the public servant that he's supposed to be as far as the 17th Ward, to sit down with my godfather and my mother, and maybe they can work this out without the courts. We do have a federal lawsuit against the city of Chicago for unlawfully demolishing our property. We have added David Moore to the lawsuit because in 2017, damn, I thought it was. In 2017, in 2017, the city knocked down the building. My mother has a voicemail from the City of Chicago Law Department that gave her 3 options. One of the options was to go to David Moore, which is the alderman, and he was supposed to offer us some type of compensation because every ward gets $1.5 million to do things in their ward. So he could have offered us some type of compensation with the $1.5 million, would have went to Committee on Finance at the time, which was the chairman, was the now convicted Ed Burke. The second option was to file a claim with the city of Chicago. The city of Chicago is self-insured. My mother did that as well. We have the paperwork right here that shows that she did that. And this is it right here. This is how the claim looks. The city of law department responded with 2 letters. One of the letters said they give them 30 days, they will reach back out And when they reached back out in 30 days, they said that the city of Chicago, owned this. The demolition, yeah, and it's in my transcripts, my court transcripts, my federal transcripts. The city of Chicago, my demolition, hold on. I got the whole demolition. This is the demolition permit. The demolition permit from the city of Chicago says the owner is the city of Chicago. The reason why they said, if you go to the buildings department says that the reason why they knocked down the building was because of building violations. The building, we never even went to buildings court. You can have 30,000 building violations. If you don't go to buildings court, you cannot demolish someone's building and do not pay them. I don't care what policy the city of Chicago is telling people, and they've been getting away with this and they've normalized this. You cannot knock down anybody's building without compensation. And that is violation of the Fifth Amendment. The city of Chicago did it, but they thought that they owned it. When you go to the federal court, and you talk to the city of Chicago lawyer that they have representing them, they're saying that they were under the impression that the city owned this building. And by way of federal ruling. But that's not the case. The issue is the city, my family has a trust, and the deed has been in a trust since 1965. And so that was what they didn't think, that we had the original deed. They thought we just had a quitclaim deed, even though the city of Chicago and Cook County use quitclaim deeds to steal black people property all of the time. So to sit here and say that we can't use a quitclaim deed, that my godfather can't quitclaim it to my mother, even though we have the original deed, they felt the need that they could take this property. And the reason why they're taking this property, in my case, is for TIF money. The TIF increment financing money, the money that they used for this, okay? They also gave them $28 million grant. The TIF money is supposed to be for blighted areas. Who has the most blighted areas? Black people, right? They're supposed to, if the building was still standing, that money, I was supposed to fill out, my mother did, if you fill out a TIF form, you get the amount of money that you would like to rehab your building. That's the whole purpose of it. And if you knock down the building, which they did, you can't get no money. So that's what they did. And they've been doing this for a long time in our communities. That's why our communities look like this, okay? My mother put $800,000 in this. These are the blueprints of what she was going to do. This was the original affordable housing that they always talk about down there. This was her affordable housing for veterans. My second cousin is Jesse Brown, the Secretary of Veteran Affairs. And this was in memory of him. And what they did was they just knocked it down instead. So this is what the city of Chicago does, and this is what our black elected officials let them do. So the reason why I decided that I'm going to flip Chicago red is because they're not going to continue to play with us. They're not going to continue to play with black people's generational wealth. They're not going to continue to hurt people. This is criminal. This is criminal. This is abuse. And they've been doing this for a very long time. So in order, I feel like, to teach these people something, the Democratic Party in Chicago something, you got to flip Chicago red, because the downstate is already ready. Everybody is ready. They're waiting for Chicago. So black Chicago and allies, we need to flip Chicago red on principle. So they don't never play with us again. They don't never play with our generational wealth. They don't never play with our kids, and we can teach our kids that they don't do this. They have normalized them doing this to us, and this is not fair. This is unconstitutional, and this is violation of civil rights, and this is illegal.
Come on,
That's
Zoe.
right, Zoe. That's right.
Bigger than that.
There's really not much to say after that. You know, Zoe, she put it perfect. This grab for black people's property. And I came to know about it by way of my mother's estate through probate. Probate with the Public Administration Office is another way that they're stealing our property. In my instance, The probate judge is Judge Terrence McGuire, Judge Carolyn Gallagher, yes, and even Chief Judge Timothy Evans. Yes, the public administrators are Leah Jukapowski, Tina Lepostrous, however you say their name. They know how it is. And if I'm saying it wrong, it's not wrong spelled out on this documentation.
Period.
I bet you that documentation got it spelled right. And I bet you if they get called into court, they can say it right. So we're not going to waste a lot of time trying to get their name right, because in slavery, they didn't care if our name was right. That's how come my name is Jackson, instead of my name being whatever my name's supposed to be. So we're not going to trip off of names. We're going to trip off of the criminal activity that's being done. And the criminal activity that's being done is them stealing black people's property, something that they've been doing for years, for decades, even in the face of redlining. Okay, you do things like redlining that say black people can only buy property in certain areas of the city, certain areas of a town, certain areas of a state. Okay, we abide by that. So we take ourselves to our little red line areas and buy our little red line property. And you can't even have that. They come over in our red line properties and steal from over there. It's to the point now with my mother's estate that the Cook County and the city of Chicago has proven that they'll even stoop as low as to steal from the dead. My mother didn't owe a person, this city, and no other human being walking this earth a dime when she died. She didn't owe anybody a dime. Not no taxes, not no credit cards, not no hospital bills. She wasn't in no state facility, so she didn't owe no state nothing. She worked. My father worked. My grandmother worked. My uncle worked, and he was a vet. They raised children, 3 daughters that worked, just like I'm raising my children to work. Everybody is not on welfare. Everybody don't want subsidies.
Everybody is not on welfare.
Everybody is not on welfare.
Right.
We are not on welfare. None of us around here.
Everybody is not on welfare.
We're not dependent on no government.
Everybody don't live on the government. In fact, one major difference between this generation and previous generations, it was considered a shame to be on welfare.
Yes,
Come on.
It was.
Oh, this is some new stuff. This is some new stuff now. That y'all, that you just break your neck to get a voucher, to get Section 8, to get a, no. This is some new stuff. This is some new stuff. We march for jobs.
Ownership.
We march for property. We march to be able to have businesses. We march to have a voice in government. We did not march for us to be perpetually impoverished and on welfare. And the fact that the Democratic Party is pushing that agenda, that in and of itself should be insulting to black people. And the fact that it's not, I don't understand it.
Yep.
That's why I'm flipping red. Because I have gone to these public officials in this town over and over and over again for assistance. I've gone to Cook County commissioners for assistance. They don't want to help us. And they don't have to help us because everybody is Democratic here. Everybody's about the same party. Everybody is about the same thinking. Everybody is about the same goal. We need a different party to go to. Black people need somewhere to take our grievances to. So now we saying, come on, Trump.
Come on, Trump.
Come on, Trump.
Trump 2024.
He's the Republican candidate.
And y'all worst nightmare.
And
y'all worst nightmare. Come on, Trump.
Come on, Trump.
Come on, Trump. They
Come on,
stealing
Trump.
black people property.
Come on, Trump. I want Trump to get in office. You know why? Because I'm ready to gather up Miss March information, just like I'm gonna gather up mine. And we're gonna put them in some of them nice big yellow envelopes, right? And we're gonna pay the postage, right? We're gonna send it to the White House.
Period.
And we're
And
gonna
the
tell
new
Donald
Department
Trump.
of Justice.
Come on, Trump. You know what it is with these courts, because you know what they doing to you in these courts. So is it so hard for you to believe, Trump, that we could go to court and we can't get no help? Is it so hard for you to believe, Trump, that we could exercise stuff in circuit court, the state court, the federal court here, and can't get no help? Oh, you say that to the Democrats, and they go to telling you about this and that and him and harm. I say, give it to Donald Trump. I bet you he ain't gonna him and haw. I bet you he gonna say, yeah, the courts did it to me. They did me. They unjust to me. Because see, here's the thing. We ain't gonna get nowhere. Nowhere as a people. Nowhere as a people. If we can't get justice in court.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Say that.
We can march all day.
Right.
Come on.
They could put policies up all day. They can make new rules all day. But until we get justice in court, we can't move the needle. And the hoodwink for the Democratic Party is to make us really believe that the only way that we getting cheated in court is in criminal court. Oh, they don't talk about how they cheat us in civil court.
No.
Because in civil court, that's how they get our property. In civil court, that's how they make us pay money that we don't owe.
Say that.
In civil court, they keep you from getting damages that are owed to you. It's the economic damage that we suffer in civil court. The majority of us, maybe a third of us, will go to criminal court.
Yep.
But 85 to 90% of us, some type of way, gonna end up in civil court. Either probate, divorce court, traffic court, child support court, bankruptcy court, eviction court. The types of civil courts go on and on and on. That's what we gotta start watching in. We gotta start telling them about our courts, that our rights that's being violated in the civil courts. In the civil courts. In the civil courts. My battle is in a civil court. I ain't never been in a jail cell in my life, praise God.
Period.
Praise God. My mother never was in no jail, ever. Praise God. And even if she was in jail before, that ain't what this about.
Yeah.
When it comes to civil court, she's still supposed to get her justice.
Hell no.
So this is why we flipping red. We need some help. We need help.
Chicago
We need
flips
help.
red.
We need help. We don't need to be so concerned about not making them mad. You need to be concerned about your children not having anything.
The Democratic Party
The
does
Democratic
not care
Party,
about the
Chicago,
Constitution
is
either.
flipping red.
They manipulate the Constitution all the time, and they're going to continue to manipulate the Constitution. It's no structure, it's no law and order, and it's time. It's time Chicago flips red. They haven't done it, they said, since Reagan, 1984. Well, 2024, here we go.
Let's
Here
go.
we go. Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. Black is America, black is king, black is power. We are the Bank of America, and we run this country, we built this country, and we're going to show you the power of the black vote. We flipping Chicago red.
Yes. Yes.
Go red.
Go red.
No, stop.